Have you been trying to set your New Year's resolutions or goals? Wondering if it's worth setting goals at all if you're just going to ignore them or fail, right? Well, that's going to change as I'm going to show you how you can kick ass and achieve all your goals in your life, especially all your financial goals and in your career too, step by step, so you can start feeling that sense of achievement and learn what success really looks and feels like. A staggering 92% of people that set New Year's goals never actually achieve them, according to the Statistic Brain Research Institute. So in this video, I'm going to show you how the other 8%, myself included hopefully, actually set goals that win. Setting SMART goals that win one step at a time is how I consistently feel like I'm achieving big things in my life and for the companies and clients that I work with, including some big multinationals, tech giants, and banks too. And as covered in my business book, The Strategy Journey. I'll be going through how you can set really smart goals that ultimately help you to win in the game of life, including my own real life examples. I think that's the best way to learn. So come on in and find out how you can create a winning game plan full of smart goals for the next year. I'm Julie, money mentor and business strategist, sharing my strategies, tips, and tools to help you make your time and money work for you. Let's build our financial independence lifestyle and start living life on our terms. Now, in case you're wondering, along with that 92% statistic of failed personal goals, did you know that 70% of all strategic goals that are set by businesses annually fail to materialize too? Yes, big companies with lots of resources from money and teams of people consistently get it wrong too. And the truth is, everyone, including the people who work in these companies, gets blocked by two things, which are huge mistakes you must avoid if you want to set goals that win. Mistake number one. We like to jump to the doing and the solution part of the process instead of understanding the real problem behind this goal and breaking it down into parts that make you execute the changes or transformations faster. Kind of like root cause analysis. I'll be showing how setting SMART goals is how you actually conduct this work to break down your goals in just a bit. Mistake number two. Most people set goals that are really vague, that are too big or too distant in the future and possibly involve big projects that could take a long time. And so we get scared and procrastinate and we don't do anything as a result of it. These are like big dreams, and well, a dream is not a real goal and it stays that way as a dream and not reality. So please get yourself out of this mindset with these two big mistakes. Use them as checklists when you're setting goals to help you identify that you're going in the wrong direction and following in the footsteps of those 92% and 70% that keep failing. We don't want that. When either or both of these mindset mistakes come up, then it's time to do this instead. Turn your dream into a goal or break down your big project into real goals and tasks using the SMART goals and SMART tasks technique. Now, let's get to what are SMART goals and what really makes them so smart that they succeed or help you to succeed. SMART goals are not a new concept, by the way. I didn't invent them. Like you now, I just learnt them from all the numerous sources out there. But more importantly, what I learned and honed or refined over the years was the skill to actually define or derive them and then execute proper tasks that come from them to win, which is what you're going to learn in this video by example, as I'm going to go through a real life example for you to copy, emulate, or draw inspiration from. Do what you like with these examples. The important thing is to action your goals. And if you stick around till the end, I'll provide a special bonus tip too, related to taking action, of course. So the truth is, you make your goals smart by doing these 5 things when you're undergoing the goal setting process. Number 1, you make them specific. Number 2, you make them measurable. Number 3, you make them actionable. Number 4, you make them realistic. And number 5, you make them time-bound. Notice how I provided a 5-step process where each step is a description or characteristic of a goal, and this characteristic happens to start with the letters S.M.A.R.T, letters of the word SMART. Well, by making sure your goals are set with these characteristics, you are making them smarter because they're more likely to be achieved. So there you have it. That's what really makes them smart. Now seriously, let's get into these examples and into the practical steps that will help you to really make them achieve both small and big wins for you. So how do you make a big goal specific? let's use a personal financial goal. This one is personal to me actually. Most of us want to be wealthy, so we can live with financial independence. Is this a goal? Well, sort of. But for most people, it's a dream, and it's definitely not SMART for sure because it's not specific. Similarly, every company or business, even governments outside the non-profit sector and NGOs or charities, want to achieve growth. So is this a goal? Again, this isn't SMART for sure. Now, as an ex-banker who has worked my way through all of the different types of banks, from both the people and wealth management side, where I've helped people to get wealthier, and also from the corporate and investment banking side, where I've helped companies and governments raise and manage their money to finance their business operations and growth, I'd often ask my clients, can you please be more specific? And it takes a bit of probing and some big questionnaire that makes them think about the why, what, and how side of wealth and growth before they become more specific. So here's an example of that questionnaire for you. This is the bonus I mentioned, and I've included some cheat sheet style resources for you to download in the description below, which I'll highlight in more detail as we continue with this goal setting example, and at the end of the video where I'll highlight my big number one tip about setting winning goals. So my main question to my money mentees and clients is, what does financial independence mean to you? For example, does this mean you go on more holidays? You can stop working, you can eat at Michelin star restaurants, you are mortgage free, you have a portfolio of assets that gives you a passive income that is equal to your current income. You can just focus on your passion projects, or you have more time for your kids, or you have a private jet or a yacht. What describes your financial independence? These are actually financial goals, by the way, as well as life goals. Why? Well, you need money to pay for these things in your life, and money is what buys you the time for these things. Time is money. I've actually created a detailed workbook where I get you to do a money, life, and happiness audit, which includes an action plan of quick wins you can create. Check out my other video tutorial to learn more, and you can also download the workbook from the link in the description below. And for the purpose of giving a real example, let's say we have a financial goal which is specific because we want to be mortgage free. Well, this was one of my personal goals anyway from a few years ago. And the same of course goes with business growth. I asked my CEO, COO, and CIO clients from these big companies, and especially the banks that I worked for and with, what does growth mean to you? For which product do you want to achieve growth? How much funding do you have now, or what do you need? Or are you after share price growth so you can sell your business or get it acquired? Or do you want your business to become more profitable and be reducing its debts and costs because interest rates or borrowing costs are too high? I cover the business side in more detail in my business book, The Strategy Journey, so check that out for some real examples, including a full case study on Tesla's goals and mission model blueprint. Yes, I probe into what Elon Musk was really thinking. Okay, so moving on to step 2, let's make our goal measurable. This means that the goal that you've just specified has clear metrics for success and the value that is produced when you achieve that goal. So if we move into our specified example, which is to be mortgage free, then we have to specify what this mortgage is, or what is the value of your desired house or home, which you have to own outright, so you have the cash to buy in full without a mortgage. Now, for some people, this could be a few $100,000, and for some, it's a multi-million dollar or pound house. What's right for you? That's what you have to define. As I'm currently living in London, I can tell you that $1 million doesn't get you very much here. If you check the average price of a house in Wimbledon, you'll see most houses range from £1.2 million to about 30 plus million pounds. So many people, including loads of my friends, have actually sold up and moved to other parts of England or the UK, or even to other parts of Europe and to Asia, where their money goes a lot further, and a few of my neighbours have moved to Australia or Spain, where housing is cheaper in some cases as well. Personally, I sold my house in Wimbledon to reinvest my money across multiple income generating assets or properties, while also not having a mortgage or any debt that I couldn't leverage across my various different investments, including rental properties. Now, you might think, oh my God, I've got to get rid of the mortgage first. before I start investing. And actually, if you know anything about investing, it's not about whether you have any debt or not. It's about whether you have good debt or bad debt and the right assets. If you want to learn more about what is good and bad debt, I cover that in a separate video and I'll link that in the description below. So when it comes to this goal, let's go with to be mortgage free with a £2 million portfolio of assets. Assets that include the new family home at no more than $850,000. So in US dollars, we're talking about a $2.5 million portfolio and a $1 million main home. So we still have $1.5 million in other assets that generates income. Remember, your family home or your house doesn't generate income as you can't rent it out because you're living in it. And if you know anything about investing, like I cover in my videos, it's all about accumulating loads of assets that generate you an income. So the next step is we need to make this goal actionable. This means we have to describe what we'll do to achieve the goal already. And for this example that we're building, it could include selling and then buying a new home, as well as reinvesting the funds or the money into new assets. So this means buying and selling different assets, be it shares or stocks or existing real estate or any other assets that you own or could own that are of value. Everything counts too. So one of my mini tactics that I took was to sell my car. I literally banked the cash and then found a deal to lease a car or subscribe to a car on more favorable terms. I also paid off my mortgage for my investment property recently, as I knew my interest rates would be rising, by selling other assets that I no longer expected to be performing as well. So I'm kind of practicing what the bankers do, which is to move money around, except it was for myself. Being an ex-banker has its advantages for sure, as you learn what to do with money, which helps to set you up financially, since you know how to make money work for you instead of you only working for money. And so again, in my Money, Life and Happiness workbook, I provide a bonus worksheet that you can use to brainstorm your actions and to break down your big goals into smaller actions or quick wins. Do check that out. Now let's get into the next and fourth step, which is to make your goal realistic. How do we do this? It's time to set boundaries for the goal, and that is kind of what I mean by making it smaller. We have to include boundaries that cover people, technology, capability, and cost constraints. So this means looking at the environment or market and the customers and users involved in the goal that you have to take into consideration in achieving it or to make it real. For the mortgage-free and house or asset buying and selling example, this means we need to look at the UK economy, house prices, or the real estate market, or even the stock market, and who is impacted. So what kind of people will buy my house, which I sold, who has in excess of 1.2 million in cash, or how easy is it for someone else to get a mortgage to buy my house? Was there any work or what other costs involved to stage my house for sale? Should I save by using an online estate agent or use a normal agent? Can I negotiate agent fees? And similarly, what kind of new home did I want? Where would I move to? Can I find a place that will allow my dog to stay if I decide to go with multiple lock and leave apartments so I can move between countries and increase my traveling and holidays? Do I want to take on a new renovation project or not for my new home? Where can I park my money safely if I don't want to invest it straight into the stock market or real estate just yet? For how long? Lots of considerations here for sure, and the key here is to be realistic and write down specific deal breakers versus wants. And so finally, if you're going to succeed in achieving your goal, you have to make it time bound, which is our fifth step. So this means setting a time limit to give a clear understanding of when you have achieved your goal to make it successful. This is why we have short, medium, and long-term goals, which I define as 1 year goals, 3 year goals, or goals that are 5 or 10 years plus. I always recommend to set 1 year goals where possible, as we live in uncertain times, so you really don't know what's going to happen in 3 to 5 years. At the same time, we do need to have long-term goals, as then we only live in the moment and we forget to set ourselves up financially for our future retirement, whatever that means to you. For some people, retirement means quitting their day job and being able to pursue their career or passion project, which involves work too. My goal when I retired from my day job in my 30s was to write a book, which I have now achieved. So what next is the question? For others, it means having the time and money for luxuries such as lots of holidays. For others, it's something else, and for many, not working on anything is actually a scary thought as it could mean the end. Dementia sets in for those with nothing to do. Anyway, for my mortgage-free lifestyle and asset portfolio example, well, I wanted to achieve this within a year. Now, 100% transparency here, when I did my own money, life and happiness audit, I defined some tasks and action steps that describe what I had to do to achieve this goal. So sometimes it's simply unrealistic to think that I could do them within a year. What I hope you can see here so far in my example is that I not only set a SMART goal, but I also set many actions or tasks with key performance indicators, also known as KPIs, for myself to achieve. And this is how I join the dots. I'll never forget this famous quote from Steve Jobs: "You can't connect the dots looking forward, you have to connect them looking backwards." Now, my interpretation of the first part about connecting the dots forward is you can't jump to random solutions, like the 2 mistakes I mentioned in the beginning of this video. These are also in that cheat sheet checklist that you can download. And instead, you have to break down your goal into actions and tasks that you can take to take you forward. This is how we connect the dots looking backwards. And yes, I can honestly say I achieved my overall goal because I successfully actioned over 80% of the tasks that I have defined, and I was able to account or track my own progress too from using the transformation action plan that I created when I did my own money, life and happiness audit last year, as I highlighted in my other video. So, have you tried to set SMART goals in the past for your life and finances? If you followed any of these 5 steps, even if you did it unconsciously, then your goals are SMART or smarter for sure. So were you more successful in achieving your goals? We could all learn from each other and each other's life experiences. So I'd love to hear about your experiences too, so please share them in the comments below. This method works for all sorts of goals in your life and not just financial goals for sure. If you use my workbook to do your money, life and happiness audit and action plan, then you'll see that you can use this method or skill to help you with all of your life goals across the different areas of your life, covering your health, wealth, knowledge, and personal growth and career, and your relationships and connectivity too, including your personal brand and networking ability. So please share your experiences with me. Where did you go wrong? What did you miss? How could you improve? What did you wish you did? Or what will you change? If you found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to be notified of my future videos, and also let me know what other topics you'd like to learn about from me. Specific money tips from a former banker, or even career tips in banking and in management consulting. I'll be creating more videos about my banker journey or career journey as a banker on this channel, so these videos might already be live. And you can definitely check out the full tutorial video on the money, life and happiness audit and action plan, where I show you how to start your game plan for financial independence with the workbook, and download my SMART goals cheat sheet and checklist too. Or come onto my vlog at juliechu.com. I'll see you next time.